Henry, how are you doing?
You know how it goes. It could always be worse. The war might be over, but the stench of it doesn't fade so easily. And more to the point, how are you, sir? I'm sorry you had to abandon your fortress.
It breaks my heart, too. To think I wanted to get out of here not long ago. Foolishness. But that's behind us now. Life goes on.
Anyway, sir, I don't mean to be rude, but I doubt you just want to ask how I'm doing.
No. You're right. Let me get to the point. I need help with something, but I have no one to ask. Even though I know you have a lot on your plate.
Well, I'd be happy to offer my services. What's it about?
An old friend of mine reached out to me, Albicus of Unichov. Does the name ring a bell?
Sadly, I haven't had the good fortune yet.
Well, in this case, it's more the other way round. When you meet him, you'll be the unfortunate one. Albicus is a physician. To be exact, King Wenceslas' personal physician. It's whispered at court that the king has fallen seriously ill while imprisoned in Vienna.
Sigismund focuses on plundering his kingdom, and Wenceslas's health hardly seems to concern him, does it?
Maybe.
Aren't these just rumors?
This is about our king's health. Even if they are just rumors, to me, it's cause for concern. I can't just wave it off.
I get it.
When Master Albicus heard about it, he decided to act.
He wants to go all the way to Vienna to see the king.
No. For now, he's heading to Sedletz. Abbot Jan holds considerable influence at Sigismund's court. Albicus wants to visit him and ask for his intercession.
Makes sense. You can't just show up in Vienna and knock on the door.
A mediator is needed. Only, I don't know if Albicus chose the right man. The abbot is a politically shrewd figure and might well use Albicus' visit to his own advantage.
Can you tell me more about the abbot? Sorry, but it sounds like you're afraid of him.
Look, Henry, every high-ranking cleric's a politician in his own way. What worries me about Abbot Jan is what he ascribes his authority to. Others claim their vocation is divine will. He sees it somewhat the other way round.
I don't really get it.
It's only natural for an abbot or a bishop to question the morality of his acts. One must act, even if it means confession and penance later. Abbot Jan, though, seems to think that his every move and scheme is divine will itself, and that could be dangerous.
And how does all this concern me?
As I said, it's a matter of security. God forgive me, our king's health is of course above all. But right now, I'm more worried about Albicus. It took some effort, but I convinced him to wait, at least until I find him a reliable escort. And believe me, it wasn't easy. That mule's got a scholar's head, but it's a stubborn one.
What's that got to do with you?
Albicus and I go way back. He's been living over the Alps for a few years, studying at the university in Padua. As soon as I heard about Wenceslas, I asked him to come back. It's a serious matter, and when it comes to the king's health, he's the best there is. But I didn't expect him to act so rashly.
So, if I've got this straight, you want me to escort Wenceslas's court physician to the Sedletz Monastery, where they don't usually let anyone in, and the abbot is as thick as thieves with Sigismund, so Albicus, who was dead set on going himself, can try to get access to the imprisoned Wenceslas?
No, actually, yes, that's exactly it.
All right, I'll go with Albicus. Last time I was at the monastery, it was, quite an experience.
Experience?
That's a long story. So what do you want me to do?
Stop by Albic's place, will you? He lives across the street with the quack. And give him this letter so he knows I'm sending you in person.
Tarmark, apothecary. All right, I'll go find him.
Good luck. I'll be in your debt.
I'm looking for Master Albic. I heard he lives here.
That's right, but he's not in at the moment. What do you want from him?
I've got a letter for him from Lord Peter of Pisek. Do you know when he'll be back?
No idea. He went over to the neighbors in quite a rush. The women of the house sent for him. Apparently, their mate's unwell.
Albic is treating a common maid.
Well, that's just the kind of man he is.
Who are these neighbors?
Just townsfolk, same as any around here. They live 2 doors down towards the square.
That's all I needed. Thanks. Master Albic?
Shh!
I was sent by...
I don't know how you got in, but be quiet now.
Sir Peter of Pisek sent me to you.
Even if the devil himself sent you, be quiet. I need and I demand silence. And you, please. Deep breaths. All right. Your breathing is improving.
It still hurts in the chest, sir. Like a horse sat on me.
A nettle compress will get your blood flowing. It'll ease off. The ribs aren't broken and the lungs sound clean. I have a potion made for you. Take it every morning and night, and stay in bed for a few more days.
But, sir, who'll see to the house? Who'll cook? My mistress won't allow.
I'll speak with her. What you need is rest. Next time, please don't interrupt me. I need peace for my work.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
Well, it doesn't matter now. You said Lord Pisek sent you, didn't you? I think I know what this is about.
If I may ask, what's wrong with her?
She suddenly collapsed with chest pain. Passed out while carrying a bucket from the well.
I hope she gets better soon.
Me too. But you didn't come about her, did you?
I'm here as a messenger. Sir Peter of Pisek gave me this letter for you.
Really? Let's have a look.
Here it is. My name's Henry, and Lord Pisek says I should escort you to the monastery in Sedletz.
Yes, yes. Peter and I had a bit of a disagreement about this matter last time. Look, Henry, I appreciate your offer, but I don't think I require your services. Either way, you delivered the letter, and I am sure Lord Pisek will reward you for that.
Are you seriously not afraid to go to the monastery alone? You do know Sigismund has taken up there, don't you?
Sigismund? He's gone already.
It may not be only him. Don't forget his influence. You can never be sure who to trust.
I don't believe Sigismund would do anything to me. He has no reason to. And he doesn't act rashly. In a way, he actually owes me. Still, I wouldn't want to count on that.
You really expect me to just walk away?
Well, if you feel that... What the hell is that racket?
Hey! Albic!
Christ, give me strength. Another bunch of impatient wretches. Perhaps it's time I finally had a proper word with them.
Get out here, you piss fart!
Well, they don't look much like the debating sort.
That's unfortunately true. On the other hand, it was fortunate Lord Pisek, despite my objections, sent me a personal guard, right?
You mean me?
Who else? Come on, in the worst case, I'll just see what you're made of.
So, you finally decided to come out. About time. I won't be kept waiting in the street like some mangy mutt.
I've told you several times already. I'm busy.
Because you're wasting time on some wench instead of helping someone who actually matters.
No person is more important than any other.
Ha! For your own good, I'll pretend I didn't hear that nonsense.
Have you lost your mind? You do realise you're threatening the royal physician? All it takes is one word, and you're off to the scaffold.
What?
You mean the king?
Who else? The Kingfisher?
Bloody hell. Corva, fuck!
Look, it's not that big a deal, right? We'll be on our way. Sorry to bother you, Master Albic.
It's all right. God be with you.
And with you. Forever and ever.
Well, that's that.
I must say, you surprise me, Henry. And pleasantly so. Perhaps your company might come in handy at the monastery after all. What do you say? Will you come with me?
Yes. Let's go.
I'll just grab a few essentials. All right then. I think we can go. I've got everything I need. And you?
How am I supposed to behave at the monastery?
You'll be there as my personal escort. So you deserve the same respect as me. It's a bit unusual, but my name opens many doors. That's why I'm counting on you to follow orders and not do anything that might endanger our mission.
Of course. You can count on me. How long will the journey take?
You've never been to Sedletz? It's just beyond the town gates.
I haven't. They don't let just anyone into the monastery. I'm ready too. Let's go.
Off we go.
Father Abbot.
Albert, my friend. Christ be praised. Master Albert, welcome. I admit I didn't expect we'd meet again so soon.
But at the Italian court, I told you I needed to speak to His Majesty.
I know, of course. But after what happened, and now with what's going on here, nonetheless, King Sigismund has already returned to Hungary.
My friend, we both know your influence reaches well beyond the monastery walls.
And so does yours. In any case, you can gain access to Sigismund's court on your own. We both know how. That matter still hasn't been settled, Albik. The king cares about it.
Actually, forgive me. These are grave matters concerning His Royal Majesty. Can we speak privately somewhere?
I'd like that, but I'm afraid things are rather complicated right now.
Well, what's going on, my friend? You seem a little uneasy.
I am. There are 3 seriously ill patients in the infirmary, gravely ill, and I fear the worst.
The Black Death?
Sadly, we can't rule it out. And I say that as someone who's lived through one outbreak already, and survived.
Where would it have come from? The monastery is isolated. Few are allowed inside the cloisters.
Before King Sigismund decided to stay here, we took in many folk fleeing his army. We gave those poor souls food, shelter. Some of them washed in clean water for the first time in weeks.
And in poverty, hunger, and filth, all sorts of illnesses thrive.
On top of that, there's construction going on inside the church. There are all sorts of craftsmen and laborers in the monastic courtyard.
And who are these 3 patients?
2 are members of the monastery, Confessor Stephen and Brother Yaroslav, who works in the scriptorium. And one of the maidservants.
That doesn't make any sense. How could all 3 of them get infected?
When the plague strikes full force, it's swift.
That's not what I meant. You said yourself one of the sick is a maid. As far as I know, women aren't allowed in the cloister.
True. So how could she have caught it along with 2 monks?
That, alas, I don't know.
What are we going to do, Albic?
We'll go and see to the sick, of course. Then there'll be no reason we can't speak to the abbot in private about our matter.
But what if we catch it?
My mission is to help those in need. And that risk is part of it. You're free to walk away, of course.
Lord Pisek assigned me to guard you.
I believe he had other kinds of danger in mind.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Thank you, Albicus, for volunteering. I wouldn't have dared ask it of you.
No need to thank me. I'm a physician. And there are people here in need of help. Not only those in the infirmary. If we can rule out plague, that may put your mind at ease too.
That's what I'm praying for. And of course, I'm open to discussing that matter of ours later on. I'll have a room prepared for you right in the infirmary. Brother Benedict, one of our novices, is there, and will tell you all you need to know.
Thank you. But I'd like to ask one small favor. I've been here many times before, but Henry's here for the first time. Would one of the brothers be able to show him the monastery? I'd rather he not get lost like I did all those years ago.
Of course. If you'd like, Henry, just ask Brother Petramil. I just spoke with him before you arrived. He'll show you around and gladly answer any questions.
Thank you, Father.
Very well. We've talked long enough. Let's get to work. So, this is the confessor. What do you make of it, Henry?
I'm feeling it now, all right. My skull's pounding so bad I'm seeing double.
He looks worn out. Doesn't even notice us. Whatever's wrong with him is clearly taking a toll.
Exactly. At his age, any illness hits far harder than it would a young and healthy man. Well, the good news, I suppose, is that he's not in agony. Pain's part of life, but no one deserves to suffer too much. Compassion, Henry, whether for the suffering or even the enemy, is part of every good physician's character. Unfortunately, not every physician is a good one.
Albek? Albek of Unichov?
Zacharias? What are you doing here?
Wherever His Majesty goes, I must follow. You know how it is. But why aren't you in Padua, studying? Have you been missing your homeland?
I was summoned home for urgent matters. And since I'm here, the abbot asked for my help.
Ah, yes. This plague he's so afraid of.
Plague? Do you believe it? Am I such a poor teacher?
Of course not. But until now, it was just my word against the abbot's. In other words, I am truly Glad you're here, my friend.
Begging your pardon, sir, but who exactly are you?
Henry, allow me to introduce Master Zacharias of Prchatzitz. He once studied under me, but became a trusted friend, and eventually the personal physician of King Sigismund.
You flatter me, Albig. The road to that post was a good deal more torturous than you make it sound. And you are...
Henry of Skalitz. I'm here at the command of Sir Peter of Pisek, serving as Albic's aide.
The Lord of Sukdol wouldn't even have let me come here without a proper escort. And I'm the one who's supposed to be stubborn.
Quit complaining. You might find an aide like him more useful than you think. Anyway, this here is Dinesh. He didn't come entirely of his own will either, but he's proven a reliable man.
Dinesh Latskvi, gentlemen.
Well then, now we all know each other, shall we finally return to the matter of the patients? Zacharias, I presume the abbot summoned you for the same reason as me.
Aye, though I've only had time to merely examine them all.
So what did you find out?
All three share the same symptoms. It begins with weakness, then comes fever, rash, and later, bloody diarrhea. By far the best off is the confessor here. He can still talk. The maid and the translator from the scriptorium are much worse. They sleep most of the day. And when they do speak, it's nonsense, because they're delirious with fever.
Right. In that case, first we need to bring down the fever. Have they given you anyone to assist?
Yes, Benedict. He's a novice and a bit odd, but he knows more about alchemy than most.
We'll need linen and clean water for compresses. Pre-boiled water is best. Have you got chamomile decoctions?
Benedict brews a fresh batch every evening.
And what are they feeding them?
Mostly bread, fruit. Yesterday they had fish, but they haven't eaten much of it.
That doesn't sound like proper food for the sick. If they've got a fever, they need to be drinking a lot, don't they?
You're right. This is no good at all. They might as well be feeding them dry pretzels. They should be getting something light and nutritious, ideally in liquid form. Broths, stews, thin porridge.
Agreed. Dinesh will speak to Solarius Julian. You know the way to the kitchen, right?
Consider it done.
Then fetch herbs from Joachim. I gave him a list of what we'll need.
Gentlemen.
Joachim, you say? Well now.
Can I help in any way?
The best thing you could do is find out what the patients were doing before they ended up here. Diseases spread through foul air. So if we find where the three of them were breathing the same air, we'll find the source of the infection too.
Who might know the monk who was translating in the scriptorium?
Everything to do with books is handled by the librarian. His name's Crispin. He likes the sound of his own voice, but if you're patient, he might tell you what our patient was working on.
Who should I ask about the maid?
As far as I know, her name's Blezhna. She gets her work assignments from Steward Zdenek. So I'd go and speak to him. And apparently, she's got a friend here. She might know something too. Try and find her.
Who should I start with?
If I were you, I'd start with the confessor. He's the only one still lucid enough to speak. Better hurry. He might take a turn for the worse any moment.
Can I help with anything else?
No, that's more than enough now.
Once you've found something, come back. Maybe we'll have figured out more by then.
How do you feel?
Like I'm turning inside out.
Don't worry. I'll let you rest. But first, I need to know who you've been seeing lately. And where.
What? Why?
Because we need to find out where and how you got infected.
What's that got to do with the others?
The sickness spreads through foul air. Anyone breathing the same air as you might be at risk.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. And I believe you've got your reasons. But I'm a confessor. I can't. I mustn't break the seal of confession or tell you what anyone confided in me.
But this isn't just about you.
Exactly. It's about the souls I help unburden of their sins. And the trust I'd be betraying.
And what about those who never got the chance to confess? What if they catch the sickness and die? Don't their souls matter to you?
It's not that. But I don't know how to help you.
Can't you at least point me in the right direction?
Perhaps you're right. I could at least point the way. There's something that might be connected to this dreadful sickness. Look in my cell. It's the one beneath the abbot's chamber, opposite the spiral staircase. Here's the key. I think you'll find something there that might help you.
What am I looking for?
That you'll have to find out for yourself.
I understand. I won't pressure you. Get some rest.
Wait, please. Do you think that I might ask you for something?
What is it?
I'd like to have some flowers. Something living to cover up the ever-present stench of decoctions.
What would you want flowers for? You'd be better off brewing a fever remedy from them.
Do I need a reason? I just like them. Their color, their fragrance. That's what I miss the most here.
I'll see what's growing nearby and bring you some. It'll brighten the place up a bit at least.
Thank you, lad.
Greetings. What do you need?
You're Zdeněk, right? They say you're the steward here. I need to find out something about Blažena.
She's lying in the infirmary. What's it to you?
She's in a bad way. Master Albicus is treating her, but to work out what's wrong, I need to know what she's been doing lately.
Oh, I see. That's different. What do you want to know, then?
Who was Blažena closest with here?
She shared a room with Valerie. I had to separate them more than once so they'd stop chatting and get to work.
And how do I recognize Valerie?
Easy. She's the only blonde among the maids.
Where does Blažena sleep? I'd like to take a look at her room.
What for? How do I know you won't nick something?
Excuse me? I can bring Master Albic here if you like, but he's got better things to do. Like saving Blažena and the others.
All right. No need to shout. Blažena sleeps in the house across from the church, like most of the help. When you enter, go through the door on the right, then up the stairs. Her bed and chest are by the window.
I'll take a look there if that's all right. And where do I find Valerie?
That's her, standing over there. But listen, don't tell her what I suspect. She might take it the wrong way.
What sort of work does Blažena usually do?
All sorts. She's a maid, so she does whatever needs doing.
Is that it? You won't tell me anything else about her?
Well, maybe just one thing. It'll sound terrible with her being sick now.
Whatever it is, out with it.
I think she's been stealing. Lately, food's been going missing from the pantry, and she and I are the only ones with a key. I was just about to throw her out, but then she fell ill.
Where did you say I'd find Valerie?
That's her, standing over there.
Thanks.
Greetings. Do you need something?
I need to find something out about Blažena. And they say you know her better than anyone.
Well, We share a room, but we're not that close, really. Why?
I'm helping the physician treating her, and anything I find out could help. I spoke to the steward, but he wasn't very helpful.
Zdeněk? I don't know. I doubt I'll tell you anything he hasn't already.
What is it? Why are you suddenly on edge?
When Blažena fell ill, I was there. I sleep right next to her. What if I caught it too?
Don't pretend. You were calm until I said your steward sent me.
Shh! Quiet!
What is it?
I'll tell you something, but not in front of him. If he heard, he'd skin me alive.
As long as I'm here, he won't touch you. You've got nothing to fear.
That's just it. You're not here forever. One day you'll leave, and then what will happen to me?
I don't think Zdeněk will forget about me so easily.
All right then. What did Zdeněk tell you about Blažena?
Well, he said he suspects that Blažena's been stealing.
That scoundrel. I knew he'd try feeding you lies.
Where did Blažena usually go around the monastery?
All over?
Right, but that doesn't help me. Where did only she go?
Zdeněk gave her the pantry key, so she was the only one who had access to it.
And where is that pantry?
In the cellar below the yard. That's where we keep the food, and mostly the monastery wine.
But why would Zdeněk lie about Blažena stealing?
I don't know what went on between them, but lately he's been giving her a hard time. I think he wants to get rid of her.
Now? When poor Blažena's ill?
That's just grist to his mill. The poor lass can't even defend herself, and he wants to take advantage of it.
Why would the steward want to get rid of an ordinary maid?
Isn't it enough that he's a scoundrel? Maybe he fancied her and she laughed in his face. Serves him right.
Tell me, you're a bit of a gossip, aren't you?
Me? I beg your pardon. One day's like the next round here. The monks don't even glance at me. So I just listen to what they talk about. You never know when it might come in handy.
Did Blažena have a sweetheart?
That? I'm not entirely sure.
So someone's been sniffing round her?
I only ever saw her once, chatting cheerfully in the doorway of the monastery with some monk.
Monks aren't supposed to talk to women, right?
And I haven't told anyone but you about it, and you keep it to yourself too. Blažena's got it hard enough as it is.
How can you be so sure Zdeněk lied to me?
Because I caught him red-handed. I saw him going through Blažena's things. Her chest.
You think he was looking for something?
Maybe. I saw him take something out of her chest.
Do you know where Zdeněk sleeps? Maybe I should have a look.
We live in the same house. Me and Blažena sleep upstairs. He's got a bed in the kitchen downstairs, just opposite the door.
And do you know exactly what he took?
No. It was already getting dark, and the bastard's quick with his hands. But it must have been something small. Right after that, he slipped out and went down into the cellar outside.
And what sort of cellar is it?
The same one with the pantry. There are a few rooms down there, and only Zdeněk has a key to some of them.
Sounds like a perfect place to stash stolen goods. That'll do for now. I'll take a look in that cellar and see what I can find.
Right, but how is all this supposed to help Blažena get better?
Well, to be honest, I don't know myself. But Master Albicus said to find out what I can.
And how is Blažena doing?
I don't know. I don't want to frighten you, or give you false hope, either. But at least she's in good hands.
Let's hope she recovers. I miss her high spirits. And her laugh. Without her, it's so horribly quiet here.
I know you're watering down the monastery wine.
I beg your pardon?
Don't act like you didn't hear. You know exactly what I meant.
You feeling all right? Maybe you should lie down.
I saw your cellar.
What? But no one's allowed down there.
And I know exactly why. Now we're gonna have a little chat.
All right. But not here. Come with me, if anyone heard you.
I'm not going anywhere with you. We're talking here and now.
Oh, come on.
No, come on.
Shh, not so loud.
But you don't want anyone to hear? Then talk.
All right, I won't say another word. Just stop shouting. So what the hell do you want from me? Coin?
What did you take from Blažena's chest?
Take? Me?
Don't deny it. They saw you rummaging through her things.
What's Blazena got to do with all this anyway? Did that bitch tell you something?
Don't speak about her like that, you hear me? The poor girl might die. And anyway, why would she tell me anything?
Because she figured it out too. One time I forgot to lock the cellar door behind me and she caught me at it.
So that's why you lied about her? So no one would believe her if she gave you away? You're a right bastard, you know that?
Go to hell.
So what did you take from her chest then?
I found a key in her chest.
What key? What's it for?
It's for the monastery cellar.
You mean your cellar?
No, it's the key to the cellar under the monastery.
But how would Blazena get something like that? Women aren't even allowed in the monastery.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Christ. And that's all you know?
That's it, I swear.
Then give me the key.
I don't have it on me.
So where is it?
It's hidden, where I keep the silver from the watered wine. I figured you'd want something in return for keeping quiet.
That's exactly what I thought.
All right, come with me.
So where's the key?
Damn it. If you'd only wanted the bloody key, but that's not enough for you.
What the hell are you on about?
You wanted my silver too. I know your kind. Never satisfied. No matter how much they're given, it's never enough to shut them up. You left me no choice.
Then keep your silver.
Too late for that.
Look, all I really want is the key.
Then why didn't you say so straight away when I offered to pay you?
Just so you know, you're not getting off that easy.
So you were just bluffing?
Exactly.
All right, I'll trust you. Here's the key. Wait! Promise me you won't tell the abbot about the wine. He'd have me hanged, or kicked out if I'm lucky. But if I stay here at the monastery, I could be useful to you.
How useful?
As the steward, I can get all sorts. Lockpicks and other handy things.
We'll see. I'll think about it. But now clear off.
Greetings, lad. What brings you here?
Your brother Crispin, right? I'm here about Yaroslav. I heard he works here as a translator.
Ah, yes. Poor Yaroslav. I pray daily for his recovery. God has blessed him with an extraordinary talent and a sharp mind. It would be a terrible loss if... But no. Such thoughts help no one. And who are you, anyway?
My name is Henry. I'm helping Master Albic in the infirmary.
Very well. What do you want to know about Yaroslav?
Could you tell me, please, where he was staying?
He has a cell in the dormitory upstairs. Go up the stairs in front of the scriptorium and turn right. Then it's the 5th cell from the door.
Thanks. I'll take a look. What exactly was Yaroslav doing here?
He's working on a translation of a book that came to us all the way from Genoa. While he was well, he spoke of nothing else. He knows Latin, Italian, and French. And thanks to his work, we have several valuable translated volumes in the library.
What book was he translating?
It's called the Decameron.
And what's the Decameron about?
I've not read it myself. I'm not as well versed in Italian as Yaroslav. I was waiting for him to finish the translation, but he spoke of it as a groundbreaking work of indescribable value. He even believed it might one day uplift the Christian people beyond their worldly suffering. He was so excited he barely ate or slept, just kept working. I thought it best to let him focus solely on the translation and assigned his other duties to others.
Where did Yaroslav work?
Here in the scriptorium, of course. You'll find his usual place right by the entrance. But be careful, he's got something unfinished there. He's spent so much time on it that it must be nearly done by now. It'd be a shame to ruin it just before completion.
Don't worry. I'll be careful. Who here knew Yaroslav best?
Most likely, Brother Celestine. He helps with copying books too, though he doesn't have nearly the same talent.
Celestine, you say? I should speak to him. Thanks. That's all I needed. What do you know about Brother Yaroslav? The librarian said you knew him better than anyone.
That's right. We joined the monastery at the same time and just got on somehow.
How does Yaroslav spend his time when he's not in the scriptorium?
Why are you even asking?
Master Albic put me up to it. He's treating him now. He said it might help if we knew more about Yaroslav.
I see. And how is he? Is the treatment working?
Honestly, I don't. I'm no physician.
I understand. I'll just keep praying for him then. What did you want to know?
How does Yaroslav spend his time?
Same as all of us. Work, prayer, studying the scriptures, and sleep. Yaroslav is completely immersed in his books. He's currently translating a new one from Italian. It's called the Decameron. He often stays in the scriptorium late into the night because of it. Shows up for morning prayers with his hands, sometimes even his nose, stained with ink.
Really? Crispin told me how hard-working Yaroslav is, but he's barely translated anything from his latest book.
What makes you say that?
Well, simple. The book is still lying in the scriptorium, and when I opened it, it was practically empty.
That's... You must be mistaken.
Why don't you believe me?
I do. I just don't want you going around and slandering Yaroslav left and right.
That's really not my aim. But I think I might be onto something. I just don't yet know what. And if you won't tell me anything, I'll probably have to ask the librarian again.
Wait. Don't say anything to Crispin.
Oh? And why not?
Because he simply wouldn't understand. Oh dear. Promise you really won't tell anyone.
Word of honor. Now talk.
All right. I just hope Yaroslav forgives me. One night, he accidentally woke me. The door to his cell creaks horribly. I already suspected his translation was taking oddly long, so I followed him that night. At first, it looked like he was heading to the scriptorium, but after he went down the stairs, he turned right and went down into the cellars. But when I went in after him, I couldn't see him anymore. I lost him in the dark.
And you've no idea where he might have gone?
Not a clue. As far as I know, it's just barrels of wine down there. And empty wine barrels.
Why didn't you want to tell me?
Because I just don't want Yaroslav to get expelled from the monastery.
Just for going to the cellar? That doesn't mean anything.
What if he was meeting someone down there? Someone no one's supposed to see him with.
What, like a woman?
Well, I once saw him standing in the monastery doorway with some wench, and they looked like they were having a grand old chat.
And where exactly did you lose him in the cellars?
In the corridor leading to the scriptorium, at the passage to the stairs to the lower level.
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. Has Yaroslav spoken to Brother Stephen recently? About confession, maybe?
I don't think so. Yaroslav doesn't neglect prayer or fasting, but he only rarely resorts to confession.
So you mean he sins, but avoids confessing it?
He hardly sees anything as sin. How can I put it? He chose a life of asceticism, but he's not afraid to live. He once said, "Why would God create the world if he didn't want man to discover it?"
The wench you saw Yaroslav with, was her name Blazhena? Because she's now in the infirmary with that same illness.
I don't know. I was mainly looking at Yaroslav. I don't even know any of the maids by name.
That's enough for now.
What the? Hey! How did you get in here? And who are you?
I should be the one asking you. Do you even know how I found this place?
No, I don't.
They say one of your brothers used to sneak in here. And one of the maids had a key to the door, too. You see where I'm going with this?
Oh, no. You've got it all wrong.
Is that so? Then why is God punishing them both by making them sick?
Christ's precious passion. May the Lord forgive us.
Forgive you for what? And who even are you?
Wojtek. We were writing a book here. All of us.
Who helped write your book?
Me, obviously Yaroslav, and Brother Ernest, and also Blazina.
What book are you talking about? You don't mean the Decameron?
Oh no, Yaroslav finished that one long ago.
Everyone I've talked to thinks Yaroslav is still working on it. Why didn't he tell anyone?
When Yaroslav started translating the Decameron, he soon realized what it was really about. He became afraid that if Brother Crispin, or, God forbid, the abbot, found out, they'd forbid him to continue the translation. They might even have the book destroyed. What a loss that would be. So once he'd finished the translation, he hid it down here instead.
So, what's the Decameron actually about?
That's not such an easy question. And you don't look like someone who came here to talk about literature.
Then at least tell me why Yaroslav was afraid to hand over the book.
Because it represents a new way of thinking. It doesn't focus so much on our Lord, but more on man. On human virtues, vices, good and bad intentions, and all the forms of love.
Really? All of them?
All of them. Mind you, the book pokes fun at the church a little.
And you, as servants of God, were fine with that? It mocks your faith.
I said the church, not God. There's a difference, even if not everyone wants to see it.
Right. So what was Yaroslav working on down here, then?
The Decameron left a strong impression on him. He decided to write a book of his own, in the same spirit, to celebrate what is as valuable to man as love, or the spiritual life. He later asked Brother Ernest and me to work on the book together.
And what exactly did Yaroslav want to write about?
About humor, wit, laughter. About everything that can make a person laugh.
Oh, I like that. I enjoy a good laugh just about any time.
Then you and he would have got on well. Yaroslav believed that a sense of humor could help a person in hard times just as much as strong faith could.
There's something to that. Who knows how I'd have ended up if I hadn't been able to laugh at myself from time to time.
Just like Yaroslav said, laughter and humor are gifts from our Lord, among the mightiest. But the brothers probably wouldn't see it that way. That's why we met and worked in secret. Sometimes we'd write all night, other times we'd get into heated debates. And sometimes we just tried to outdo each other with witty sayings.
So, basically you were sitting down here telling jokes all night?
Among other things, but mostly we were working.
Go on then. Tell me one of the jokes you came up with.
Now? All right then. All right. Here's one. Do you know why monks lie down in the meadow among the sheep? Because they're waiting for the good shepherd.
All right, that's enough. I'd like to ask you something else. And what was Blazena doing here? She's a maid. She probably can't write. And women aren't allowed in the monastery, are they?
I didn't get it at first either. Why Yaroslav brought her here. If anyone had found out, the abbot would have thrown us all out. But I soon understood. Humor isn't just for the educated or wealthy, let alone just for men. Laughter belongs to everyone. How could we grasp its breadth with just our limited experience?
So, this isn't about any sin? Blažena's just funny?
More than that. Her laughter, sense of humor, her knack for knowing when to make a joke. It's a true gift from God.
Who exactly is Ernest? I don't think I've met him.
One of the older brothers. He's in charge of all the building and repairs in the monastery.
And do you know if he might have fallen ill, too?
No idea. But now that you mention it, I haven't seen him for a while. And when I think how Yaroslav and Blazhina are doing...
I'd best go and check on him myself. Where's his cell?
It's one of those under the abbot's quarters. The middle one on the right, if you're facing from the courtyard.
What about the elder confessor, Stephen? Was he never part of this?
He's got nothing to do with it. He doesn't know a thing, unless someone slipped up during confession.
And how are you feeling, anyway? Are you all right?
Yes, at least for now.
No symptoms? Weakness, rash, fever, anything?
Nothing like that, I swear.
If you start feeling bad, report to the infirmary at once. Understood?
Of course.
Where did you say Brother Ernest's cell is?
It's one of those under the abbot's quarters. The middle one on the right, if you're facing from the courtyard.
How long have you been meeting here?
Since the start of summer.
So at least 30 days?
Roughly. I don't remember exactly. Sorry.
I've heard enough. I'll go and check on Ernest now.
Wait. What about me? What's going to happen to me?
I told you. If you're not feeling well, go to the infirmary. Albic will take care of you. Don't worry.
I meant our book. Please, don't tell the abbot about it. We weren't doing anything wrong. But if he found out, he'd throw us out.
Why would I tell him? He didn't do anything wrong here.
Thank you. And may God protect you.
I found another infected.
You're not the only one. While you were gone, they brought in several more. So, where's your sick man?
With the Lord now. I found him too late.
Lord have mercy. Do you at least know who it was?
One of the monks. His name was Ernest.
That's the second death today. Let's hope it's the last. The confessor's dead. Old Stephen.
Well, you said yourself, at his age...
True. But old or young, every life is precious. At least now he's in no more pain. And what about you? Did you find out anything about the others who are sick? Do they have anything in common?
I found some jewelry in Stephen's cell. It looked quite old.
Jewelry? Where would he have got that from?
He might have stolen it. But given how strict he was about the seal of confession, it doesn't seem likely. Maybe someone else stole it. But guilt caught up with him, and he gave it to Stephen during confession.
Maybe. But surely we'd have heard about such a theft by now. Unless...
they stole it from someone who can't tell anyone anymore. Do you think we've got a murderer here?
I've no idea. It's all just guesswork.
I found out that Ernest, Yaroslav and Blazhena were meeting regularly. There's a secret copying workshop in the cellar.
A secret? But why? And what in God's name was she doing there?
Well, it's a long story, but I know for sure they were meeting down there. Those 3 from the infirmary, and the overseer I found dead.
Very well. I believe you. That explains why those 3 got infected. Do you think it happened in their workshop? Did you notice dampness, mold, any strange smell or bad air?
Nothing like that. It was damp, but the air was otherwise clean.
In that case, someone must have brought the illness to them.
But who?
Probably Ernest. If he died first, it would make sense.
Or maybe the illness just killed him faster because he was older. Like the confessor.
That's possible too.
So, what are we going to do now?
We'll go to the abbot. You, Zacharias, and I. This is getting out of hand, and the number of sick keeps rising.
To the abbot? Right now?
You think waiting will solve anything?
You've all come. That can't mean anything good.
The truth is, more are falling ill and the infirmary's filling up fast.
We're trying to give them all they need. But soon there'll be no beds, and they'll have to lie on the floor.
How many have died?
The old confessor, Brother Stephen.
And Brother Ernest, too.
Ernest?
He died in his cell. No one even knew he'd fallen ill.
So, it started then.
Ernest wasn't treated. Even mild illness can be deadly without care.
And Stephen's age didn't help either.
When the Black Death last swept the town, it also started slowly. The old, the sick, those no one missed were the first to die. And then we couldn't even bury the dead in time, let alone give them the last rites. Now, the Lord is punishing us for it.
We do have some good news. With Henry's help, we might soon uncover where the infection's coming from.
We know that Brother Yaroslav and that maid both met with Ernest, so the illness must have spread between them.
They all met? Even the maid? Why?
Well, I didn't mean they were all together at the same time. Just that both Yaroslav and Blazena had encounters with Ernest.
Why would a maid be meeting with Ernest? That makes no sense.
Ernest never left the monastery grounds.
He did, in fact, fairly often. He was one of the few allowed out for work reasons.
Then they must have run into each other by chance, somewhere outside.
Very well, then.
Just breathing the same foul air as someone infected for a while puts you at risk.
And since I found Ernest already dead, we believe he's the one who brought the sickness among the others. If he was the first to die, then he must have been the first to catch it, right?
But where did he catch it?
I don't know yet, Father. But I have certain suspicions. What was his job in the monastery?
Ernest oversaw all building and repair work in the monastery.
And what had he been working on lately?
He'd been supervising repairs in the church. A floor had collapsed above the crypt recently. He was assigning tasks to laborers and overseeing the work.
Which crypt do you mean?
Some important nobles are buried there. But most of all, it's the tomb of my predecessors. May their souls rest in peace.
That might be the source of the foul air. The illness could have spread from the exposed crypt.
I ought to go into the church and inspect everything thoroughly. Especially that crypt.
That's not a good idea. If the illness is really spreading from there, no one should go in.
I understand your concern, Zacharias. But Henry is right. At this point, it's just a supposition, and we must put it to the test.
Enough. What nonsense is this? No one's going into that crypt. The disease is spreading. The infirmary is full. We've already got 2 dead.
Father, I understand you're afraid, but...
Afraid? I'm not afraid. I bear responsibility for the whole monastery, for every living soul. And it's my God-given duty to do everything I can to protect them from the plague.
Father, wait. Just give us a day. 2 at most. I'll just find out where the sickness came from.
You won't get another hour. The monastery is to be sealed. No one goes in, no one comes out. All the monks are to withdraw to their cells.
What about us? You want to keep us here against our will?
I don't want to, but I must. And at the same time, I humbly ask for your help. Believe me, you'll be repaid when the time is right. You came to me with a certain request. Help me, you may consider it granted.
It's for the best, Albec. Even if it turns out not to be the plague, it's still a deadly illness, and we're within sight of the town. If it spreads to Kuttenberg, it'd be a disaster.
I know. But as you wish. I'm sorry, Henry, but I'm afraid we have no choice.
Tibi Domine, fratrum nostrum, militer commendamus, ut quem in hac vita mortali, immenso semper es prosecutus amore, nunc manis omnibus liberatum, in requiem ingredi iubias sempiterna. Tuam ergo clementium deprecamur, ut via prima iam transierunt, illum in paradisum tum begnine perducus, ubi neque luctus, neque clamor, neque dolor erit ultra. Sed pax et gaudium, Filio tuo et Spiritus Sancto in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Well, now. This whole situation keeps getting worse. How am I meant to treat a disease I know almost nothing about? This can't end well.
Then what do you suggest? The abbot's forbidden us from going anywhere outside the infirmary.
Not only that, he's had the monastery gates shut. No one's allowed in.
Or out. Ludolf's men are even patrolling the grounds. We're literally imprisoned.
Still, something must be done. The beds are nearly full, and there's not endless space on the floor either.
Henry, I know I've no right to ask this of you.
Oh, now you're suddenly glad of your escort to the monastery, eh?
For someone who only got here thanks to Albec, you've got a cheek. don't you think?
Fair enough. I didn't expect things to go this way either. But Zacharias is right. Talking won't help us now.
I'm sorry. So what can I do?
Search the church crypt. If there's a plague grave down there, uncovered by that collapse, then at least we'll know for sure.
But surely no one would have buried plague victims there. That's where the abbot's tombs are.
I'm not looking to confirm it. On the contrary, I want to rule it out. I still don't believe we're dealing with plague. I'll stay here and tend to the sick.
Let me assist you, friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that. There's enough work here for the both of us. Henry, try speaking with the workers repairing the collapsed floor. In the best case, they might have noticed something. In the worst case, they'll already be showing symptoms of the disease.
And how do I get there? I'm not even supposed to poke my nose outside. The knights are patrolling the grounds.
If they catch him wandering somewhere he shouldn't be, they'll have him thrown out.
And the abbot will find out we're investigating the source of the outbreak despite his explicit orders. But this is about lives. Henry, I believe you can do it. But still, be careful.
I'll do what must be done. Just make sure you look after the sick.
Hold on. In Italy, physicians wear a kind of hood with a mask. It protects them from foul air and perhaps even the plague.
True. I've heard the same in Padua.
Sounds good. But where am I meant to get one around here?
With a bit of skill, you can make it yourself. All you need for the hood is a piece of leather. You'll need to hang fragrant herbs around the collar. Something like mint or sage.
Might as well perfume myself all over.
You jest. But yes. The less foul air you breathe in, the better.
You can use the workbench in the alchemical workshop to make it.
All right. I'll be off then.
Best of luck. And God be with you.
And with you. Forgive the intrusion, Brother Librarian.
An apology will not spare us this dreadful illness, but obeying the abbot's orders might. Haven't you heard them? I moved in here so I could continue my work and keep the mandated solitude. So leave me in its safe embrace and go away.
I understand, but I've come on an urgent matter.
And I'm urgently asking you to leave me be. I don't want to catch the illness and stand before the Lord. Not yet.
Brother Librarian, I understand your fear, but remember our Lord Christ. Did he fear the lepers? And what did he say to the Samaritan who returned from the church to thank him?
Your faith has healed you.
You see? There's no need to fear the dreadful illness if your soul is pure.
So you believe this illness is a test for us?
Well, yes, I think it might be. But I'm only guessing. I wouldn't dare pass judgment on the Lord's intention.
Ah, you've spoken wisely and humbly. I can never compare to our Lord Christ, but in your words I find comfort and a spark of hope.
May I ask you a favor, then?
But please, keep it brief.
Brother Librarian, I need your help.
What is it?
This might sound odd, but do you have that book where I could find a recipe for aromatic oil?
My answer may sound even odder. I do. It's on the stand over there. One of my brothers was searching for a recipe, an oil for hardened heels, from working out in our garden. Perhaps it will be of use to you as well.
I need to ask you something.
Look, you probably shouldn't be here, right? You heard the talk. They say there's some pestilence going round.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm not exactly feeling... Oh, my best. Tell me what I need to know. Oh, and I'll be off.
Christ almighty! What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything, just don't come any closer.
Have you noticed anything odd lately? Suspicious?
What, during work? We're at it from dusk till dawn. No time to be watching what's going on.
Sure, but while you're working, you must hear a thing or two. You know how folk chatter while they work.
Well, I suppose there are two groups of workers here. Us lot working above ground, and another lot working down in the crypt. We don't talk to each other much.
Why not?
They're a right bunch of bastards. Maybe because they've been at it longer than us. They hardly ever come up before we knock off. Some of them probably even sleep down there. Ugh.
Why are there two crews here?
We take care of everything above ground. They're dealing with that collapse into the crypt. We hardly ever see each other.
Where can I find the other crew?
Their tents are right next to the monastery wall.
Who's in charge of your lot?
Andra, our foreman. But the work's clearly laid out. He doesn't have time to be breathing down our necks all the time.
I haven't seen him around. Where can I find him?
No idea. Truth be told, I haven't seen him myself in a while.
And that doesn't strike you as odd?
You think, what, he's sick too?
Well, he's definitely not in the infirmary. Hopefully he's all right. Thanks. That'll be all. What are you doing here?
What do you think? I'm keeping watch so no one goes inside.
And why?
Because you might end up getting hurt in there. There's an hole in the middle of the floor, like the mouth of hell. If you stroll in there, gawping at the ceiling, you could fall in and break your neck.
You know there's some ailment spreading in the monastery, right? I've been sent from the infirmary to check it out. Has anything odd happened here? Something you noticed, or someone else hanging around?
Look, I don't know anything, and I don't want to. I only care about this door. But you could try Loiza. He knows just about everything going on here. He's over there, in the camp opposite.
All right. Thanks. Will you let me in?
No one's allowed in. What are you even doing here? I thought no one but us was allowed out here.
It's a big church. Plenty of ways in. And I'm under orders from Master Albic and Zacharias. Royal physicians. So sooner or later I'll find someone who'll let me in. But if it's you, then I'll remember it. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll need a doctor. Then you'll be glad of my gratitude.
Oh. Having a sawbones o' me might be useful. Especially now. All right then. Just remember I helped you, yeah? Here's the key. But not a word to anyone. Got it?
Thanks. Much appreciated.
And watch yourself. There's more lads inside, from another crew, and they want nothing to do with us. Arseholes. With a bit of luck, they'll ignore you same as us. But best not bother them.
I'll be careful.
Hey, what the?
You're the one who locked me in there.
How did you get out?
Why the fuck did you do that? Wait, you're the foreman, aren't you?
Shut up. You found Bavo, didn't you? Hand it over.
Calm down and drop the weapon, or I'll report you to the abbot.
And how would you do that? You're not getting out of here alive.
What the hell are you on about? What do you want from me?
You know what I'm on about, Kavar. And I know he's here somewhere. Boslav Bavo. I'll rip it out of your cold, dead hands when I'm done with you. It'll look like an accident. You weren't supposed to be here. We tried to stop you. But it's high, and you broke your neck.
Come on then. Try it.
You brought this on yourself.
I'm looking for Albic. Where is he?
Henry? What's happened? You look troubled.
Sorry, sir, but I have to speak with Albic. It's urgent.
He just went to your room. Is everything all right?
I don't know. Sorry. Christ, Albic! What happened? Are you alright?
I am, yes. But it looks like we've been robbed.
Why? And who did it, for Christ's sake?
Gentlemen, please. Keep it down. You're disturbing the patients. For God's sake. What happened here? What a mess.
What do you think? Someone was clearly looking for something.
But there's nothing of value here.
Well, actually...
Albic! You brought them here? What were you thinking?
And was I supposed to leave them unsupervised?
And? Were they stolen?
Thank the Lord, no. I still had them on me.
Can someone tell me what exactly was nearly stolen?
As you know, Henry, I spent a good part of my life at King Wenceslas's court, tending to his health. Thanks to that, I learned much about his private life. What ailed him, how and when he got injured, and what treatments I used. I recorded all my findings and methods, partly in case anyone cast doubts on them, and partly for others to copy, if necessary. If these detailed records were to fall into the wrong hands, I dare not imagine the consequences.
Plenty of folk would pay handsomely for them.
Or tried to steal them for that very reason. Who could have got in and made such a mess?
I was busy tending the sick. I noticed nothing.
Nor did I, I'm afraid. There's work here for 3 more physicians.
That actually made it quite easy for the culprit.
But we still don't know who to suspect.
Surely you realize the abbot himself might be interested in those records.
Father Jan? Nonsense. We've known each other for years.
Not quite well enough. When he heard you were coming, he was pressing me to persuade you to let him read them.
But that's out of the question. Absolutely not.
That's exactly what I told him. The look on his face. If looks could kill, I'd be dead.
How did he even hear about them?
Their existence is no secret. Even King Sigismund mentioned them to me once or twice. And if he ever said anything in front of the abbot...
And the thief waited until the monastery was closed?
So, Albic isn't leaving. Even if he wanted to.
Let's not jump to conclusions. And don't start pointing fingers. Henry, go and ask Brother Benedict and Dinesh in the infirmary if they noticed anything. Maybe we'll get lucky.
All right, then. I'll return to my patients and pretend nothing's amiss. No need to alarm them over this.
Right. Agreed.
My God! Why are you all covered in blood? What do you want?
Did you notice anything suspicious this past hour?
One of the sick men has been throwing up constantly, and I suspect another one's faking it to skip work.
No. I need to know if anyone's been nosing around our room.
I spent most of my time with the vomiting one, or out in the yard scrubbing his bedding. I didn't see anyone.
Someone went through our room, or rather tossed it all about. Likely looking for something.
And what about the alchemy lab? Was that turned over too?
No. I think that one's untouched.
Oh, thank God. I'll go check it anyway, just to be sure. Was anything stolen?
That's the thing. Nothing was taken, so we don't even know what they were after.
I should have been more watchful, right? I'm sorry. I promise I'll keep a better eye on things from now on.
Don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. Will you tell me more about yourself?
I can try. What would you like to know?
How did you get to the monastery?
Well, I walked. Or do you mean why I entered the abbey?
Aye. I'm more interested in that.
Very well. My parents are long dead, but I have 3 older brothers as well as 2 sisters. That is, I had 3, but one of them didn't live to see her first birthday. Nonetheless, I was born 6th. You see, I'm not a fighter, so I didn't join the army, and after paying for my sisters' weddings, I couldn't afford to go to university.
So you had no choice?
Something like that. But I'm happy to be here. In just under 2 years, I've learnt many things. Perhaps the Lord will provide, and one day I'll be in charge of the entire hospital.
What did you do before you joined the abbey?
When my parents were still alive, I cared for them. And when they died, I started my postulancy.
Why did you have to care for them? You have a lot of siblings.
My sisters got married, my brothers left to search for work, and we never saw them again. My parents had nobody else left.
It was kind of you to take on that responsibility.
I didn't think of it as a responsibility. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
So you were with your parents until they...
Until they died. It was really challenging for me. But I feel it helped me discover my calling.
Caring for the sick, you mean?
Yes.
How's life in the Abbey?
You're expecting me to complain, aren't you? I'm perfectly happy with a routine life. You eat from the same bowls at the same table every morning. Prayer is at the same time every day. And I fall asleep in the same bed every night. What more could you want?
Why do you work at the infirmary, of all places?
It's my divine calling.
What do you mean, divine calling?
The Lord chose me to become a healer, but he allowed me to learn through life and discover things for myself.
Your divine calling is washing the sick, feeding them, emptying their bedpans?
Not just that. I mix potions, change the bedding, keep inventory of what's been used each day and what's needed for the next. And when I have some free time, I search the scriptorium for books on alchemy. There's a bunch of old tomes there full of long-forgotten recipes. I'm boring you, aren't I? Forgive me.
How did you discover you were supposed to become a healer?
I came to realize diseases don't cause me fear or aversion. Or compassion, for that matter.
But isn't that natural? When you see someone suffering, you shouldn't just be completely indifferent.
Imagine you have a stoneworker with a crushed foot come in. Bones poking out and bleeding like a stuck pig. Is it better to comfort him, or to decide in time that he'll probably lose the foot anyway, tourniquet the wound, and go and get a saw?
Sounds like you're in the right place then.
I'm glad you think so. And between us, so do I.
If I ever need my wounds treated, can I come to you?
Of course. It's my job after all. I'm here most days, so you know where to find me.
I think I need some treating.
Is that so? You don't seem to be suffering too much. Forgive me, I have much to do.
I heard you've been having some trouble getting supplies for the infirmary.
That's right. Old Julian seems to think the sick can live on decoctions and ointments. We get nothing but scraps.
Oh, if they want to let them starve, I don't know why they need two famed physicians for it.
My thoughts exactly. I've told him 100 times, but he just keeps saying he's praying for them. As if that would help.
Well, maybe I could try speaking to the Salarius myself and see if I can, persuade him.
I won't stop you, but I've tried everything I could think of. What's your plan?
Try to persuade him. He's bound to respond to something.
That old man only hears what he wants. But good luck.
I hear you and Dinesh are having a bit of a dispute over food supplies for the infirmary.
A dispute? Is that what he told you?
Well, not in those words exactly.
I really would like to help, but you must understand that I can't. No one knows how long the monastery will stay closed. The whole convent has to live off the supplies, and if we are to endure, we all have to tighten our belts.
And what about the abbot? Will he tighten his belt too, or is he exempt?
Don't insult his grace in my presence. Father Jan fasts regularly and sets an example for us all.
Since you brought up the supplies, how much is actually left? Are we talking days, weeks, months?
Months. Not even in my most hopeful dreams. With small portions, fasting, and assuming we don't get a hailstorm that destroys what's yet to be harvested, we'll last 2 weeks. 3 if we're lucky.
Then Albic had better get a move on. Look, I know it's difficult for you, but we can't just let the poor infirm suffer in hunger. If you help me, I'll be glad to repay the favor. Is there anything I could do for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, magpies have built a nest in the tree in the monastery garden. They perch on rooftops, screech like mad, and I can't get any sleep. And they're so brazen. One of them stole my spectacles yesterday. I can't read without them.
Sorry, but I don't have time for that.
Then I'm afraid I can't help you.
I've got your spectacles.
Show me. Are they all right?
Don't worry, they're fine.
Praise the Lord. Without them, I'd be like a mole.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes. And what are you standing around for? You're going to want something in return for that little favor, aren't you?
You said you consider giving the infirmary a larger food share.
Did I say that?
Aye. In return for bringing back your spectacles from the magpie nest I had to knock down.
So, are my spectacles the only thing you found in the nest?
It was completely empty otherwise. I suppose the magpies realized they were on sacred ground.
All right then. Take the supplies for the infirmary here. But God help you if you think of stealing anything. There's not much food left, so use it wisely. Hungry mouths will make it vanish quick as a flash.
I got more food for the infirmary.
Should I ask how you managed it?
You wouldn't believe me anyway.
You won't surprise me that easily, but suit yourself. Let's see then. Oh, well, it's not much, but it should last a little while.
Did you see anyone go in or out of our room?
I'm not sure. I think I saw a monk go in. I couldn't say who.
A monk? You mean Benedict?
No, it wasn't him. But hard to say. Damn it, why do they all look the same in here?
It's not exactly helpful, I know. Any idea when that was?
Roughly an hour ago. Maybe 2. Has something happened?
Damn it. Never mind. Better if you ask Zacharias.
Henry, how are you feeling? You don't look too good.
I feel awful.
Did you go into the crypt without a plague mask?
I did. Do you think I got infected too?
It's certainly possible.
What now? I can't just go and lie down. We have too much work to do.
I know. Try this potion. It should ease the symptoms for a while.
Thank you, Albie. And what if it gets worse?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Henry. We're not even certain you're actually sick.
And what if I am?
Then all you can do is pray we get this sickness under control before you end up in the infirmary yourself.
Will this potion cure me?
I'm afraid not. But it eases the symptoms and strengthens the body. That's why you have to use it regularly.
Would you please teach me the recipe?
Naturally. Fill a cauldron with wine. Then throw in 2 handfuls of freshly ground St. John's wort and boil for 1 turn. Then throw in 2 handfuls of chamomile and boil for 2 more turns. Finally, add a handful of ground ginger and boil for 1 more turn. Then, distill.
All right, I'll try.
I'm happy to hear it.
I spoke with Benedict and Dennis. Neither noticed a thing.
I thought as much. We've all had our hands full here. So, we still know nothing.
I might have something, but I'm not sure yet how it ties to those records.
What do you mean?
I went down to the crypt, and I found open tombs and rotting corpses.
Good God!
No sign of a mass grave, though. Just individual tombs.
That's both good and bad news. At least we can now rule out the plague. But if the workers caught something from the air around those tombs, then anyone else could catch it too. Why did they even open them?
They were probably looking for something inside. I found this sketch.
That looks like the emblem of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. But why would they look for it among deceased abbots? Even putting aside that it's sacrilege, I don't see the connection.
Nor do I. But there must be one, because they locked me in the crypt over it.
What?
He was the workers' foreman. He kept going on about some Bavor. He must have thought I'd found whatever they were after. I tried explaining I hadn't the faintest idea what he meant, but he went completely mad. In the end, he came at me.
And?
Well, I had to defend myself. God rest his soul.
I'm at my wit's end. Under normal circumstances, I'd report it, but maybe we'd better keep all this to ourselves. For now, at least. That Bavor fellow, the name means nothing to me, but I'd suggest mentioning it to Librarian Crispin. With luck, he'll find something in the archives that sheds some light on how it all connects to those open tombs. But best do it tomorrow. This evening's been more than enough. One adventure a day is plenty.
Agreed. Let's clear up the room, then sleep.
We'll be wiser come morning.
Yapping beast. Kick its ass. You stop that, for Christ.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you've had a decent sleep. The sick are waiting, and being tired doesn't excuse us from our duties.
All right, give me a moment. Then we'll go and check on the patients. And where's Benedict, anyway?
If I may, gentlemen. Haven't you heard? There was a fire here last night.
A fire? Here at the monastery?
The small shed by the mill house burned down, but it was probably just an unfortunate accident. Thank the Lord it's all over now.
And no one was hurt?
Well, that's the thing. No one burned, but there were 2 men in the shed. Or rather, 2 bodies.
Bodies? Whose were they, for God's sake?
That... I don't know, sir.
And how do you know they didn't die in the flames? Just because they weren't burnt to cinders doesn't prove anything.
I didn't see them, but they said there were no burns, and it didn't look like they'd suffocated either.
So, how did they end up there? What killed them? Didn't anyone tell you about them?
They were sent to be washed, but the washers noticed, signs.
How do you know about these signs? Did someone examine them?
No, they were only to be washed, but when the signs of illness were spotted, the abbot ordered them locked away in the hops store. Ludolf promised he'd send one of his men to guard the door. No one is to go near them.
That was highly irresponsible. Someone needs to examine them thoroughly. We can't afford uncertainty.
You want to bring them to the infirmary with the others? No. No, let them stay locked away somewhere separate.
Are you afraid the other sick might get even worse? At least we could have them all in one place.
Who found them? And how did he get them out?
Elijah, one of the lay brothers. He ran into the flames thinking he could save them, but they were already dead.
And what was he doing outside in the middle of the night? You don't suppose he had something to do with it?
He's never been any trouble. There's no reason to suspect him.
Was anyone else there besides Elijah?
No, or at least no one I know of. I'll leave you to it now. If you need me, I'll be with the sick.
I'm going too. Disease? Fire? What next? A swarm of locusts?
First they ransacked my room, now this. I don't like it one bit.
Do you think the fire's got anything to do with what they were after in your chambers?
Who knows? I feel like someone wants us gone. And they're trying to frighten us into leaving.
All the more reason to get to the bottom of this.
But I can hardly go poking around myself to find out what really happened.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for.
Well, maybe Zacharias was right after all. You never know when an aid like that might come in handy. So, what's your plan?
Quite a few things, actually. I'll take a look around the burned-down shed. There might still be some clues.
Good idea. It might have just been an accident, but it won't hurt to make sure.
I should probably speak with the lay brother who pulled the bodies out of the flames.
Elijah, right? But be gentle. No one should have to go through what he did last night.
What about the corpses? You said you wanted to examine them.
And that's what I'll do. We can't afford doubts when there's a deadly illness spreading.
But Benedict said the abbot forbade it, and that one of the knights is watching over them.
If he's got any sense at all, he'll understand this is serious. A proper diagnosis is key to the next step.
Someone searched our room just a while ago. And who knows what they'd do if they caught you wandering around alone. I won't have that on my conscience. Better you stay here, and I'll sort it somehow.
So what you're saying is, use an unorthodox approach.
Well, what reason can't solve, brute force might. A well-placed blow can open any door. And to confirm or disprove the suspicion of a deadly plague, a broken nose is a small price, isn't it?
You're probably right. But please, treat it as a last resort. The infirmary's full as it is. Don't give us more work. And when you do get to the bodies, take your time with the examination. The main thing is not to be repulsed.
Well, I've picked up a few things already, so I think I can manage.
I pray I'll have your confidence when God sends for me. If you're not sure, just try to remember what you saw. If you describe it to me later, I should be able to identify it.
I can't think of anything else.
Nor can I. Well then, best of luck.
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here. And I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across a rather peculiar name. Boleslav Bavor. Does that ring a bell? Are there any records on him, perhaps?
Boleslav Bavor? I know that name. Long ago, just after taking my vows, I briefly looked into his legacy. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves. And they were looking for Bavor, or something connected to him.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What exactly did you discover about then?
Not much. That's why I soon gave it up. Aside from the travel records of Sir Bavor, there wasn't any further mention of anything that might be connected. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
That's a shame. It was just starting to get interesting. Still, I'd very much like to have a look at the travel records, just in case.
I'll be glad to show them to you, to examine, but first we must report those vile thieves to the abbot.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too.
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
And?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
And what did you do after that?
Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter. And it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree. Something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war. And the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up, if that's what it was.
Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Why didn't you stand your ground?
I couldn't argue with the abbot. What he said went. And I was just a lowly monk, barely past my vows. I had to obey. In time, I learned to let some things lie. Those who dig too deep may uncover what they'd rather not.
I'm not blaming you, but I think it's time we reopened that old inquiry of yours and saw it through. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck. I'll return to the crypt and see if the workers left any trace.
I might have missed something myself back then. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now, with death haunting the monastery.
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? Ugh. Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars, gravel embedded in both knees, and blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Now for the older one. Pale, sunken eyes, missing some teeth, though that might just be age. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Clenched tight. Like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up. Like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms matched perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from.
Greetings. What would you like?
I need to speak with Elijah. Do you know what's up with him?
Try the cellar. I caught sight of him sneaking down there this morning.
If you saw him, he didn't sneak all that well, did he?
Exactly. He made quite a racket doing it.
You're Elijah, right? What are you doing here?
What do you think? Hiding and hoping everyone leaves me alone. I don't want to talk to anyone anymore.
I've only got a few more questions. Answer them, and I'll leave you in peace.
Promise me first you'll keep this to yourself. What I tell you, and even that you found me here.
You have my word.
All right. Ask away.
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink? You seem smart enough not to keep your booze where someone might find it. I bet you've got a nice little stash, eh?
All right. Maybe I did head off to the back pond for a nightcap. I heard a dog barking like mad, so I went to see what was going on. I should have just kept out of it.
Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. Just the dog was there.
When you dragged out those two bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, Other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I've seen the corpses, and I've got a few questions.
Does it have to be?
Do you have any idea who those two were?
I've no idea. It was dark, I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
I noticed some strange things about them.
Like what?
It looks like they died of the same illness that's spreading through the monastery infirmary.
Christ! And I touched them. But I feel fine. So far.
You'd best go and see Brother Benedict. He'll examine you, and at least clean up those burns.
All right then.
One of them had flour in his hair. Any idea where it came from?
Well, the flour store's right next to the shed that burned down. What do I know?
Dead men weigh a lot. How did you even get them out of the burning shed?
On my back? Like carrying a sack. Why?
Their backs were badly scraped. So I thought maybe you dragged them by the legs or something.
That must have happened before. Maybe when someone dragged them in. Godlessness.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I have no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud. All right?
Right. Right. Thanks.
You said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere, and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your head, damn it. Now everyone and their dog is sniffing around here.
I couldn't just...
I thought I made myself clear. They stay here, you don't leave, and nobody must know a thing.
But what was I supposed to do? Your master...
Provided you with everything you needed and paid you generously. Or am I wrong? What about that fire? Were you just covering your ass, or planning to rat on us too?
They were infected. For the sake of everyone in the monastery, I did what had to be done.
Doing what has to be done. For everyone's sake. Delish!
Did you?
He's gone. Hold on. I'll fetch help.
Don't trouble yourself, son. But please, stay.
No. No, I'll run for Albic.
Pray with me. The Lord will soon welcome me.
All right. But I need to ask you something first.
Yes.
Why did you set the shed alight? Were you trying to get rid of the bodies?
Get rid of them? No.
But should they rot under my roof? I only hope the fire would consume them, and that'd be the end of it.
Did you try to treat those poor souls yourself?
I did my best. On the orders of Master Zacharias, I tried everything, even against their will. But either the sickness had advanced too far, or I simply lacked the knowledge.
All right. Another prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh, Christ above. Go with God. Amen.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste.
Rats! Hey! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim's
dead. And that Dinesh of yours too. So now you kill me. Give me just one more reason. Albic? Albic, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
I thought you and Albic were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albic may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albic showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? You're mad. You want me to help you? Now, after all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. I don't need you. The infirmary has ingredients for all sorts of antidotes. We'll figure something out.
You think I used belladonna and amanita like some village herb woman? No. This is my own recipe, and a damned expensive one, I'll have you know. I save it for only the most distinguished.
Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albic's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albic spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No, that was Dinesh.
You swine. Albic confided in you that he had them, and you poisoned him so that...
I was hoping to frighten him. Maybe he'd give them to me for safekeeping. But the mad old fool went and hid them somewhere. So I need you to find them.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
I've no idea what you're on about. Sigismund wants you to find some relic for him.
King Sigismund knows a legend of Sir Boleslav Bavor of Blatna, who brought a relic from the Holy Land to Bohemia. What he doesn't know is that Sir Boleslav was buried with it, right here in the monastery.
So you plan to present it to him on a golden platter and hand it over in exchange for a medal and a fat reward?
Something like that. I have good reason to believe the relic is of great value to the king. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albic wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me, so we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albic will die, right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
You miserable bloody bastard. I'll do it, but only for Albic's sake.
I expected nothing less.
Benedict, I need you to take care of Master Albic.
Lord have mercy. I had a feeling he couldn't avoid that illness forever.
He's not ill. He's been poisoned.
What? By whom?
Zacharias slipped something into his wine. He's still alive, but if I don't get the antidote quickly...
He'll die. But why would Zacharias do that?
It's a long story. Right now, I need you to look after Albic. He's in his bed, and in a bad state.
I'll keep an eye on him. And what will you do?
I'm gonna find the antidote, and then settle things with Zacharias.
Very well. May God go with you.
Actually, one more thing. Does the phrase, behind the scales, mean anything to you?
The scales. Well, it's a symbol of justice. The Archangel Michael is often depicted on Judgment Day holding scales. Why do you ask?
Albic whispered it to me. I hoped he was trying to give me a clue, point me to somewhere he hid something. Only, with the curfew, he couldn't have left the infirmary.
Unless... Unless?
No unless, Benedict. I'm running out of time. If you know anything, tell me now.
All right, sorry. Albic did actually leave once. It was a few days ago, and he asked me not to tell anyone.
Really? Do you know where he went?
He wanted to speak personally with the Right Reverend Father Jan.
But he's been warning us all along to stay away from him.
I thought it strange too. But that's all I know.
Even so, you've helped me. Thank you. Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared, and I found a walled-off secret chamber.
What? I'd never heard of such a thing. Even Abbot Vitus never said a word about it.
It was walled up. There must have been a reason for that. But at least it explains why you couldn't find Bavor's sarcophagus all those years ago.
Well, at least now I don't feel quite so foolish. But if there was a sarcophagus, was there also, you know?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good Lord, that's truly strange.
And do you know what's even stranger? I think someone was watching me down there.
Watching? Who? Did you see anyone?
I just heard voices.
Could it have been one of the workers again?
I'd say it was someone else. Does anyone else even know about this Bavor mystery?
As far as I know, no one. I only ever told Abbot Vitus, and I haven't spoken of it to anyone since, I swear.
There's not much we can do about it now anyway. Best thing is to solve this mystery about Bavor as soon as we can.
So, you're saying you found a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but not Bavor himself?
Exactly. I have no idea what to do next. I was kind of hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
The tomb wasn't empty. There was someone else inside. That does make the idea of relocation more likely.
And if, as you say, the sarcophagus was marked with Bavor's coat of arms, I'm inclined to agree.
So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
I'll start with the area around the infirmary church. Then maybe I'll be spared the trip to the consecrated field.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you manage to find Bavor at last.
I've got a bit of an odd question.
That doesn't surprise me. We live in strange times, brother.
Well, that's for certain. But if I wanted to make a book or a document that matched the original as closely as possible, what should I be careful about?
Why are you asking?
Brother, I'm speaking to you scholar to scholar, and I won't take much of your time. In my studies, I came across certain writings with rather intriguing ideas. I'd like to spread them beyond the walls of this monastery.
A most noble idea, brother. I shall advise you. You must make sure to choose matching covers and the same type of parchment. If you have the original in front of you, it shouldn't be hard to imitate the script and style.
Covers? Parchment? Where would I find such things?
That I truly don't know. Here in the library we only have very basic parchment. It depends what exactly you need. Perhaps in town, some scriptoriums might be better equipped.
Scriptoriums? Right. Thanks. Oh, my back. And the rest. The armor, the crest, the sword. It has to be him. The valiant knight Boleslav Bavor. May his soul rest in peace. Only no sign of the relic. Something's still eluding me. If he even was buried with it. My God. A crusader's sword that saw the Holy Land. A true honor. Let's see if I understood it right. By all the saints. Praise be to thee, our almighty Lord, and praise be to thee, merciful Christ, who suffered on the cross for us. Thank you for remembering us sinners in this time of trial, and for letting me find this treasure. Forgive us our trespasses, and spare us from this dreadful plague. Let the righteous triumph, cast down the treacherous, and please, save Master Albic's life. Amen.
Halt! We received a report of a suspicious ruckus in the gardens. What happened here? And what are you doing in the graveyard?
So this is your idea of watching out for suspicious activity? Do you not guard anything at all, for Christ's sake? Dennis just killed the herbalist Joachim, And if I hadn't fought back, he'd have killed me too.
Was?
Do I need to show you exactly where the body lies before you believe me?
Was zum Teufel? Search the herbalist's hut and this graveyard. And be on your guard. I'm taking you to the abbot. I hate to interrupt, Your Grace, but something's happened that urgently requires your attention.
Did you bring more news from Masters Albicus and Zacharias? How fare our sick?
Not so, Your Grace. The herbalist Joachim, may the Lord rest his soul, was found dead in his hut.
Christ alive! How is that possible?
Henry here claims he was there and killed the murderer in self-defense.
I swear it's the truth. It was Dinesh on Zacharias' orders. And that's not all. Before I could stop him, Zacharias poisoned Master Albic.
What are you saying? Why would Zacharias do such a thing?
That bastard did it to get hold of Bavor's relic and Albic's records about King Wenceslas.
By all the saints, as if things weren't bad enough already. Now this.
Christ almighty! Henry, why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry, Crispin. Maybe I should have, but it's too late for that now.
Crispin, go to the infirmary. Tell Benedict to tend to Master Albic. Immediately. Without him, we cannot overcome the plague. Ludolf, leave us alone. Matters of the crown must be discussed in private.
Your Grace, that's out of the question. Your safety.
That's an order.
As you command. But I'll leave my man outside the door. Just say the word.
Very well. Thank you. Henry, you've made a very serious accusation. And in front of witnesses, no less.
Believe me, Father, I wish I were mistaken. But I saw it with my own eyes.
Very well. I believe you. But first, tell me about the relic. Crispin was just telling me about this mystery of Bavor. Am I right in thinking the two are connected?
Yes. Crispin helped me find and interpret the clues. And in the end, I found it. Along with the true grave of Bavor. Here it is, Father. A splinter of the true cross.
Oh, unbelievable. Incredible. Eternal glory to our Lord. A true sacrament. And perhaps even a sign of hope. But how did Zacharias know about it? Tell me everything from the beginning.
It all began in that crypt beneath the church. Some of the workers were trying to find the tomb of Sir Boleslav Bavor.
They were supposed to fix the collapse. No one gave them permission to enter the crypt.
Zacharias bribed them. He'd heard that Bavor was buried here with a relic from the Holy Land and decided to seize it for King Sigismund. The workers were meant to find Bavor's sarcophagus, but they also opened and looted nearby tombs.
That is sacrilege. That crypt holds the remains of abbots of this monastery.
And in the process, they uncovered coffins containing rotting remains. That's where the illness that spread through the monastery came from.
So the illness, it wasn't plague.
Master Albic kept saying that all along. And so did Zacharias at first.
God forgive me. I was afraid.
Well, that was still only the beginning. Zacharias hid the first two sick workers with Joachim, who he blackmailed into caring for them in secret. He treated them as best he could, but their symptoms worsened. When they died in his care, he panicked and tried to get rid of the bodies.
That fire? Those corpses?
When they were found, Zacharias panicked in turn and sent Dinesh to kill Joachim.
Oh, God in heaven, forgive them their sins.
I tried to stop him, but he stabbed Joachim and then came at me. Luckily, I managed to fight him off. I ran back to the infirmary to warn Albic, but by then, Zacharias had already been poisoning his wine for some time. I don't know what poison it was, but Albic is barely breathing and has no idea what's going on.
And Zacharias?
He actually laughed in my face. He'll only give me the antidote if I bring him two things.
Oh, people hold nothing sacred.
He wants Bavor's relic and Albic's records on King Wenceslas's treatment. The exchange is to take place in the church. Otherwise, Albic likely won't live to see morning. Please, Father Jan. Albic sees you as a friend. Zacharias betrayed him. You can still save him. Will you help me?
From what you've said, I gather you knew about his plans. Why are you telling me all this only now?
I suspected you wouldn't believe me. Even I wasn't sure for a long while. I kept searching until the pieces finally fell into place. I meant to tell you everything, but only once I held clear proof. And that, Zacharias himself provided.
I'll do everything in my power. We must end this affair. Quickly, and within our walls. I shall entrust you with the relic. But please, take care of it. May it be preserved for our monastery.
Thank you for your trust, Father. I'll do my best to see it return to you.
From this moment, the curfew no longer applies to you. The knights at my door will inform everyone else. And do speak to Sir Ludolf. Perhaps one of his men has gear that'll suit you too.
Thank you again, Father.
You can thank me later. Right now, get moving.
I'm sorry, Father. There's one more thing.
Yes?
Albic hid his records somewhere safe, but he didn't manage to tell me where. All he could get out was they're behind the scales. Did he ever mention anything like that to you?
I'm afraid not, lad. We never spoke of it.
Did he speak about anything else?
Since the curfew was declared, he only came to see me once. He asked for access to my private chapel.
And? Did you allow it?
No. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I didn't want him bringing the sickness here. I told him to use the infirmary chapel.
But there were already sick men there too. Still, thank you. Sir Ludolf, I spoke with His Grace the Abbot, and...
Words already reached me. My men are ready to assist you, should it come to that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But there's one more thing. We may be facing a fight, and I arrived at the monastery without any equipment.
Our supplies aren't vast, but we can at least offer you a cuirass and a gambeson. There's a cuirass ready on this stand in the tent. If you want it, it's yours.
Thank you, sir. So, how to go about it? These records should definitely resemble the original as closely as possible, so they look right at first glance. How would such a document begin, I wonder? King Wenceslas is Albic's friend. He'd probably address him in a friendly tone. Well, what next? I suppose I should get straight to what's troubling the king. But what might that be? I heard the king's got a cough. What would Albic have prescribed for that? A nettle poultice works wonders. Plenty of fluids, and the cough will be gone in no time. Right, that's about halfway. What next? Sigismund is surely wondering why King Wenceslas has no heirs. Then all right, he's simply not fated to father a child with his wife. It happens. Right, that's sorted. And how to end it? Maybe some general recommendation? Something clever in Latin? That's what I'd expect from someone so learned. But what? What about mens sana in corpore sano? A sound mind in a sound body.
Do you have it? It's good to see you keep your word.
I hope you'll do the same.
You did the right thing. It'd be a shame to let someone like Albic die so... disgracefully. But first things first. Do you have the relic?
I do. Here it is.
Christ. Truly. Dear God. It's unbelievable. Sigismund, he... Yes, but... Also, hand me the records.
I want the antidote first. A fair exchange.
Touching, but you're not the one in charge here.
There. Let's hope they're worth the hellish torment you've got coming.
That fit. But this... Albic wrote this? Did you tamper with those records? Tear out pages? Add anything?
Why would I? You'd have seen through it straight away anyway. I, who not long ago couldn't even write, forged the Master's records. Well enough to fool a learned man like you.
Then Albic must have done something to them. That'd be just like him. Bloody hell. But... in that case, he mustn't die before I can speak with him.
Get up!
Men, hold them back!
Stop this madness! This is the house of God!
Give up! It's over.
You. If it wasn't for you, none of this would have happened!
But what?
That we could still fix this. We could still help everyone!
What a bit of a word you say. Give me that antidote and surrender.
And then what? You take the only thing you need, and then you kill me, like you did Dinesh. Or you arrest me, and you hand me over to Sigismund! You know very well what you'll do to me.
This has to stop. Enough people have died already. Now give me that antidote.
I can't. I can't disappoint Sigismund again. I'd rather take my chances with you.
Zacharias.
At last, peace. Ironic, don't you think?
You don't have to die here. They can help you at the infirmary. We just need to hurry.
Don't be foolish. Even Albic couldn't save me. And he's got more pressing matters now.
I'll give you something for the pain, but I've nothing on me.
It doesn't matter. It won't hurt. For much longer, anyway.
You don't deserve peace, and it won't be waiting for you. You're roasting hell for all the lives you've taken.
I know well what I've done, and what awaits me for it, so don't spoil my last moments with sermons.
You should carve into your memory the name of every last person who died because of you, and repeat them on the other side. So you never forget who was to blame for their deaths.
So much hatred. That's a mortal sin. Perhaps now we'll meet again and see who's burdened with more souls.
Amen.
Amen. Henry.
Everyone standing here is here thanks to you.
Oh, your words please me. But you're wrong. I may have helped heal them, but I wouldn't even be here myself without you. I can't imagine how it all would have turned out if not for you and your courage.
I was glad to help.
I owe you my life, and I'll never forget it. I only regret that we couldn't save Zacharias. How could I have been so foolish?
Zacharias deceived me too. I only saw through him when it was nearly too late.
But I knew him. I taught him everything, and it was I who recommended him to Sigismund to be appointed his personal physician. I handed Zacharias straight into the usurper's clutches. The venomous vipers writhing at the feet of the self-proclaimed king surely influenced him.
We probably should have expected it. He was loyal to Sigismund through and through, and that says something.
Time will tell. Right now, I don't even know what to think.
What will you do now? Return to Kuttenberg?
Yes, just as soon as I get that letter of recommendation from Father Jan to Sigismund, so I can visit King Wenceslas.
I think he owes you that, after everything you've done for the monastery. You risked your own neck.
Unwillingly. But it still makes a strong argument in my favor.
Sigismund is holding Wenceslas in Vienna. Will you head straight there, then?
I'll wait for the first suitable opportunity, gather everything I need, and then set out. And what about you, Henry? What's next for you?
I've already done what was most important here. And where the road takes me next, God knows. But my lord is actually getting married soon. So, I should probably be there. I'll go and speak with the others.
I won't keep you. Perhaps we'll meet again someday.
It was an honor to meet you, Master. Take care.
Likewise, Henry. God be with you.
I suppose you're getting ready to leave us?
Yes. It's time I returned.
I'm sorry to hear that. You and Albik helped us so much. God knows how many brothers would no longer be with us were it not for Albek's treatment. And that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't found the antidote for him. Albek owes you his life, Henry.
Will I be allowed to visit the monastery again someday?
Of course. You'll always be welcome here.
What will become of the monastery now? The sickness has passed, but still...
Still, we'll feel its consequences for a long time to come. Once the people hear of it, pilgrims will avoid the monastery for a time. We were struggling already. But without their offerings, we'll have to cut back.
But the relic we found might help. It'll attract new pilgrims.
If it's truly genuine.
Zacharias believed in it.
Believing and wanting to believe are two different things. And you know very well where it led him. I don't want to make the same mistake.
I suppose I'll be going now.
Hopefully we'll meet again soon.